Hi everyone, me, Mr. Peets. So I'm going to show you how to make an impressionist looking Google drawing based off of this picture that I already provided for you. So you're basically going to use this to sort of trace your image and get like a really simple idea of how to do certain things in colors to get the mood, and the niceness of this picture. Now remember, Impressionism is all about getting the impression, so you don't have to get every detail. That would actually be the opposite of what I want you to do. So, because this works in layers, and whatever layers or whatever shapes you create, the next ones are going to go on top of it. We're going to work with the sky first, then we'll do the water, and then we're going to do this one tree. You don't have to worry about the other trees. You can put them in if you want, but you don't have to. But I'm going to include this one tree with the ground so that this is all going to be one big shape, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is the sky. So I'm going to get my polyline tool. And if you don't know where that is, it usually shows up at just a line, but if you click the down arrow, go down to polyline, and you get this sort of arrow looking shape thing, and then you'll see a little plus sign as your cursor. So what we're going to do is we're just going to highlight the entire sky. So I'm starting at the corner. I'm going to come down to the horizon of the water, go all the way across, click here, go up to the top, and go all the way across. Now, with the polyline tool, you want to make sure you get that little snap right at the end. So I'm going right back to my original dot that I put. And once I click, the whole thing becomes one giant shape, and then it covers it up. That is okay. This is what you're supposed to do. Now, let's turn this into a gradient. So we want to go to the fill color, and we want to click over. You'll see all the solids are here. Now, if you did solid, then you just have one big solid color, right? But if you went over here to gradient, then you would get, you can choose some of these gradients. Now, this row right here, this is the row you really want to look at. You want to kind of have sort of a linear gradient, not a radial one where there's like a little light spot in the middle. You want it to go kind of from light to dark. Now, let's go to custom, because what we can do is we can actually, again, we want to make sure it's linear as opposed to radial, so we'll keep it linear. And then you can see how this looks right now. I have just the gray tones. It's not going to be gray, but I want the light part to be on the bottom. So I'm actually going to flip this. If I flip it to 180, then it'll be sideways. Let's go to 0. No, that's not right. You can do 270. Nope. I would say 270. Okay, so now we have the lighter side of the values on the bottom and the dark is on the top. Now on one side, we can, let's have one side be sort of like a darkish blue color. And then over here, instead of that being gray, we'll have sort of like a pinkish color. All right, but again, we want this to be flipped. So let's go back to 90. So now we have the light side over here, and then it gradients to this purple to the blue. Now I might be slightly changing the picture, but that's okay. And once I click OK, now that whole shape is going to be a gradient from this light pink to purples to blues. Okay, so now what we can do is we can grab the polyline tool again. Whoops. And then I want to put the little sun over here. So I'm just going to put like a little polygon type of sun right there, and then I'm going to close it off. So now that's a shape, but look, I don't want it to have a gradient on there. So I'm going to go to the fill color, go to my solids, and I actually want it to be really, really light. Okay, I didn't choose white. You can choose white if you want, but I chose this very light pink. Okay, and then you'll notice that there is this black line around the sun. I want to get rid of that. So I'm going to highlight that shape that I just did, go to the border color and hit transparent. Now that's gone. So now I just have the sun with the sky. All right, so far it looks really pretty. Now let's do the water. So the next part's going to be the water. I'm going to include this entire bottom portion of the rectangle because like I said before, when we do the last shape, right, we want to make sure that that last shape is, you're going to put that, um, basically on top of all of that, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and grab the polyline tool and I'm going to create that shape here. I'm just going to cover the whole thing. I'm doing that bottom water point. And then, so I have that, but the water, this looks really weird. So I'm going to go ahead and make this more of a solid color. I think I'm going to go with like sort of a darkish grayish blue type of thing. If you want to do something radial, we could try that. So if you did something like this, but if we customized and the radial was a lot lighter, so let's say this one is darker, so let's go with this darker blue. And then this one, let's make this almost pretty much white. Let's do that. And let's see how that looks. Okay, that looks a lot better. So that's, you could see that there's more of a reflective light here by the sun, and then you have the water, and then you have the sky. So really you're just playing around with the different gradients and the different shapes. So far this is really, really simple. You'll notice the black lines are around here, and there are black lines that are around here. So I'm with the arrow tool, I'm going to highlight everything. I'm going to go to my border color and make it transparent. So now that is all gone. So you only see the fill colors. You don't see any of the border lines. I actually want to take the sun, maybe drop it down a little bit. Okay, so if we were to go back, I'm going to move all this over so we can look at our original picture. I actually made the palm tree before. So when you do the palm tree, really, I just kept it really, really simple shape. You're going to do this part last. So you create that shape, all right? And then I made it like just really blocky, really simple. I put little points with the polyline tool, and then I made it one big shape, and then I made it black. And then you're going to take this and you're going to overlay it on top of your image. Now, because I did this shape first, it's not going to work for me. But for you, if you do this part first and then this part last, then you're able to put this shape on top. You can see that I can't move the shape on top. All right. So again, do the sky, the sun, the water, and then do the black silhouetted tree with the ground. Overlay it, and then you're done. Okay. So that's what your image is going to look like. And if you guys have any questions, please let me know.